Welcome back to Narrations. Some families speak through words. Some speak through silence. And some learn to understand each other in ways that go beyond both. Tonight's story is about a girl caught between two worlds, the one she was born into, and the one she is discovering for herself. This is CODA. It's about family, about identity, and about finding your voice, even when it means leaving the people you love. Ruby Rossi wakes up before the sun rises. The house is quiet. But not silent in the way most houses are. There is no sound of conversation, no music playing softly in the background, no distant noise of someone moving around in another room. Because Ruby's family does not hear. Her parents, Frank and Jackie, and her older brother Leo are all deaf. Ruby is the only hearing member of the family. A CODA, child of deaf adults. From the moment she wakes up, Ruby steps into responsibility. She helps her family prepare for the day, communicating through sign language with a speed and familiarity that feels natural to her. It is her first language, the one she learned before she ever fully understood spoken words. But her responsibilities go far beyond communication. She works with her father and brother on their fishing boat. In the early morning darkness, out on the water, Ruby becomes their connection to the hearing world. Listening for other boats, answering radio calls, navigating situations where sound matters. It is not just work. It is survival. The family's fishing business depends on her. At school, Ruby's world shifts. She enters classrooms filled with sound, voices, laughter, music. But she feels out of place. Her life at home is so different that it creates a quiet distance between her and her peers. She has grown up quickly, carrying responsibilities that other teenagers do not understand. And sometimes that difference becomes a source of embarrassment. There are moments where her family's openness, their humor, their lack of awareness about how others perceive them, makes Ruby uncomfortable in public. Not because she is ashamed of them, but because she is caught between two worlds that do not always understand each other. Ruby has never thought of her life in terms of choice. Her role in the family is simply part of who she is. Until something unexpected happens. In school, she signs up for choir. Not because she has a clear passion for singing, but because her crush, Miles, is in it. At first, the experience feels awkward. She is not confident. She is unsure of her voice. But her music teacher, Mr. Villalobos, notices something. Something raw. Something untrained but genuine. He hears potential. And for the first time, Ruby is seen not as someone responsible for others, but as someone with her own identity. Her own talent. He encourages her. Pushes her. Challenges her to take singing seriously. At first, Ruby resists. Not because she doesn't enjoy it, but because allowing herself to want something outside her family feels wrong, selfish. Her time is not her own. Every hour she spends at choir is an hour she is not helping on the boat. Every step she takes toward her own future feels like a step away from her family. And her family needs her. This conflict grows stronger when Ruby begins training more seriously. Mr. Villalobos suggests she audition for a prestigious music school. The idea feels impossible. Not because she lacks talent, but because of everything it would mean. Leaving home. Leaving her family. Leaving the role she has always played. At home, the tension begins building. Her parents do not fully understand what singing means to her. Not because they don't care, but because they cannot experience it the way she does. They support her in their own way, but there is a gap. A space where communication is not just about language, but about experience. Leo, her brother, begins questioning her commitment. He feels the weight of responsibility too. And he sees Ruby stepping away from it. For the first time, Ruby is forced to confront something she has never allowed herself to think about clearly. Who is she, outside of her family? And is it possible to choose herself, without losing them? The more Ruby leans into music, the more her two worlds begin pulling her in opposite directions. At school, everything is expanding. Her voice grows stronger with practice. What once felt uncertain now carries confidence. Mr. Villalobos pushes her harder, not gently but with intensity, because he believes she is capable of much more than she sees in herself. He corrects her posture, her breathing, her emotional delivery. He doesn't treat her like someone fragile, he treats her like someone who can succeed. And slowly, Ruby begins to believe it. She starts imagining a future that belongs only to her. A life where she is not defined by responsibility. A life where she can choose what she loves. But at home, the opposite is happening. The fishing business begins struggling. New regulations require the fishermen to sell through approved channels, cutting into their already fragile income. Frank and Leo try to adapt, but the system is not designed for them. Communication barriers make negotiations difficult. Misunderstandings cost them money. Every step forward feels like 2 steps back. And in all of this, Ruby's absence becomes more noticeable. She misses early mornings. She skips work for rehearsals. And for the first time, her family feels her absence not just emotionally, but practically. The tension builds quietly at first. Then it begins to surface. Leo confronts her directly. He tells her that she is leaving them behind. That she is choosing something that does not include them. For Leo, who has always struggled to be seen as capable without Ruby translating for him, this feels like abandonment. For Ruby, it feels like being trapped. Because both things are true. She loves her family. But she also wants something for herself. The conflict reaches a turning point during a school performance. Ruby is on stage. Singing. Her voice fills the room. The audience listens, moved by her emotion, her presence, her vulnerability. But the most important moment does not happen through sound. It happens through silence. The film shifts perspective. We see the performance through her father's experience. Complete silence. No music. No voice. Only movement. Only expression. And yet something still comes through. Frank watches his daughter. He cannot hear her. But he sees her. The way she moves. The way the audience responds. The way something inside her is alive in that moment. After the performance, he asks her to sing for him. Not because he can hear it, but because he wants to understand. Ruby sings. And as she does, Frank gently places his hands on her throat. Feeling the vibration of her voice. Feeling something he cannot hear. And in that moment, the gap between their worlds begins to close. Not through sound, but through connection. For the first time, Frank understands that this is not just something Ruby enjoys. This is something she needs. At the same time, the family begins finding their own strength. Leo pushes for independence in the fishing business. He refuses to rely on Ruby as the only bridge between them and the world. He argues for change. For self-sufficiency. For dignity. And slowly, the family begins adapting. Not perfectly, but enough to move forward. The final turning point comes with Ruby's audition. She prepares to leave. Not just physically, but emotionally. Because leaving means stepping into a life where she is no longer needed in the same way. And that is terrifying. The night before she leaves, the house feels quiet. Different. Full of things unsaid. But also full of understanding. At the audition, Ruby is nervous. Overwhelmed. Her confidence falters. Because for the first time, she is completely alone in a space that has nothing to do with her family. No translation. No responsibility. Just her. But then she does something unexpected. She signs while she sings. Bringing her 2 worlds together. Her voice carries the music. Her hands carry the meaning. And in that moment, she is no longer choosing between 2 identities. She is both. Fully. Completely. The performance is not perfect. But it is real. And that is enough. Back home, her family waits. Not knowing the result. But knowing something has changed. And when Ruby leaves for her new life, it is not with guilt. It is with love. Because her family understands now that letting her go is not losing her. It is allowing her to become who she is meant to be. CODA is not about choosing between family and dreams. It is about learning that love can exist even when paths diverge. Ruby does not leave her family behind. She carries them with her. In her voice. In her silence. In everything she becomes. If you enjoyed listening to this narration, please like, share, and subscribe for more movie stories. I'll see you in the next one.